carried water bags on their shoulders and emptied them into the mouths of people. Then they would go back to fill them and come back to do the same. Umar said, used to carry water bags to us on Uhud Day. When Ayman, who was one of those Muslim women who saw the defeated Muslim fighters entering Medina, she started throwing dust at their faces rebukingly, saying, "Here is a spinning wheel, take it and give up carrying swords." Then she raced to the battlefield. There she watered the wounded Hibban, shot an arrow at her. She fell down and her clothes were lifted up. Seeing that, the enemy of Allah burst into laughter. That sight upset the Messenger of Allah, so he gave Sa'd Waqas an arrow lacking an arrowhead and said, "Shoot it." Shot it. It pierced the idolater's throat. He fell down and some parts of his body were revealed. The Messenger of Allah then laughed so much that his molars could be seen. God avenged her, and Allah responded to her supplication. As soon as the Messenger of Allah reached the defile, went out and filled his water container with water from Al-Mehraz. Al-Mehraz is said to be hollow, concave, rock containing plenty of water. It was also said that it is a water spring in Uhud mountain. Anyway, Ali brought that water to the Messenger of Allah to drink. Finding that it smelt bad, he refused to drink it, but only washed the blood off his face and poured some of it over his head, saying, "Allah's wrath is great on those who smeared his messenger's face with blood." Sa'd said, "By Allah, I know who washed the wound of the Messenger of Allah, and who poured out water for him, and what substances his wound was treated with. His daughter Fatima washed it, whereas Ali poured water out of the container. When Fatima realized that water increased the flow of blood, she took a piece of straw mat, burnt it a little, and stuck it to the wound so blood ceased flowing. Fresh water to drink. The Prophet drank and supplicated to Allah to provide him with good things owing to the wounds and their bad effects on his body. The Messenger of Allah led his followers in prayer in a sitting posture, and so did the Muslims. When the preparations of the idolaters for departure came to an end, Abu Sufyan went up the mountain and called out, "Is Muhammad among you?" They did not answer him. Then he asked, "Among you?" They did not answer. He asked it again, "Is Umar bin al-Khattab among you?" They did not answer him, for the Prophet forbade them answering him. He only asked about these three. That is because he and his people knew quite well that the call to Islam depended to a large degree on those men. Abu Sufyan then said, "As for those three we have relieved you of," Umar could not help but talking, so he said, "O enemy of Allah, those whom you have just mentioned, I tell you that they are still alive. Allah has maintained what you hate." Abu Sufyan answered, "The mutilation of your killed is something I did not order it, but it did not displease me." Then he shouted, "Hubbal, an idol, let it be sublime." The Prophet said, "Why do you not reply? What shall we say?" They asked him, say, "Allah is more sublime and exalted and mightier as well." He said, "Al-Uzza, an idol, is ours, but you have no Uzza. Why do you not reply?" The Prophet said, "What shall we say?" They inquired. He said, say Allah is our protector, but you have no protector. Abu Sufyan said, well, deeds together is a vengeance for Badr day. This for that war is attended with alternate success. Umar's reply was, no, they are not the same. Our killed men are housed in paradise, but yours are in fire. Then Abu Sufyan said, come on, Umar. The Messenger of Allah said, go and see what the matter is. He went there. Abu Sufyan asked him, I beseech you by Allah's name to tell me the truth. Have we killed Muhammad? Umar said, O Allah, no. And now he is listening to your words. He said, for me, you are more truthful than Ibn Kamiyah and even more reliable. Ibn Isaac said, when Abu and those who were with him were leaving, he called out notifying, we will meet again at Badr next year. The Messenger of Allah said to one of his men, saying, yes, it is an appointment for both of us. Later on, the Messenger of Allah dispatched Ali to trace them out. He said to him, pursue them and see what they are going to do and what they aim at. If they dismount horses and ride on camels back, this means that they are hiding for Mecca, but if they ride horses and lead camels unmounted, they are leaving for Medina. By the one in whose hand my soul is, if they attack Medina, I would march to them there, and I would fight them. Ali said, I went out and traced them to see what they were up to. I saw them mounting camels and leaving the horses unmounted. They were heading for Mecca. After the departure of the Qurayshites, people went out to check the identity of the killed and the wounded. The Messenger of Allah sent me on Uhud day to seek Sa'ad bin al-Rabi, and said, when you see him, say, peace be upon you from me, and say to him, the Messenger of Allah says, how do you feel? Zayd said, I started wondering about checking the killed till I came across Sa'ad when he was dying, with about 70 strokes or stabs of a sword, a spear and an arrow in his body. So I said, O Sa'ad, the Messenger of Allah sends you his greetings, and says, peace be upon you. Tell me, how do you feel? Sa'ad said, and let peace be upon the Messenger of Allah too. Tell him, I smell the scent of the paradise, and tell the helpers, my people, you shall not be excused before Allah if the